So this is part of the more on the, like, do you think it's any coincidence that when they pick this oil executive head, that you're getting just everybody, all hands on deck? We need to get out there and deny climate change. I don't know. It's odd. And maybe, I guess, the other guys are sent out to deny the Russia relationship. But here is Anthony Scaramucci with Chris Cuomo. And I'll tell you something. If I was to create, if I was like an art director and a casting director, and somebody said to me, hey, look, we got half an hour. We got to throw together, we want some type of dystopian scene in the future where there is one world and we need to lie to the citizenry. Who would you book for this? And what do you think the backdrop should be? And this is exactly what I would do. I don't know if I would have Chris Cuomo interviewing him. Maybe I'd have just like a floating orb. But here is Trump advisor Anthony Scaramucci on with Chris Cuomo talking about Tillerson.
So, why do you want the names of those who worked on global warming?
Oh, pause it. Let me restate that. They are literally asking for the names of everybody in the Obama administration who has worked on global climate change.
Just curious.
And this is there was a story today that people working on climate change in the U.S. government are frantically trying to copy the data and get it out to the public and put it on other servers because they're afraid that there is going to be this sort of Orwellian just erasing of all of their work. And God knows why they want all these names. But let's hear what this guy has to say.
So, why do you want the names of those who worked on global warming at the Department of Energy? Is this a purge?
No, I don't think so at all. I think this is an intellectual curiosity expedition. We're really trying to come up with the best solutions for the American people and the best solutions for the world. And when you think about Department of Energy or the EPA, I think what we're thinking about is energy independence for the United States, clean air and clean water, which the president-elect has repeatedly said throughout the campaign and during the transition. And the most important thing that I want the American people to focus on is that we can generate a tremendous amount of energy revenues as a result of new taxes coming off of the energy that's underneath the ground here in the United States. And so when you look at our forward liabilities, Chris, somebody like Governor Rick Perry in that position is going to be magnificent for the growth of the U.S. economic engine. So
right.
It's a combination of different things, frankly.
Well, you got different conversations. You have, do you accept the science of man's impact on the warming of the planet? And then you have, well, what policy considerations do you make in light of that science? That's one discussion. My first question, though, I'm not completely satisfied on yet, which is, I don't get that intellectual exercise to find out who worked on global warming. Why do you need to know who worked on global warming?
No, I think, look, I mean, I know that the current president believes that the human beings are affecting the climate. There are scientists that believe that that's not happening. I think that,
the overwhelming
for me personally,
consensus in the scientific community is that man's actions have an impact on science.
Chris,
no, you have to correct that whenever it comes out. Go ahead.
Chris, there was an overwhelming science that the Earth was flat, and there was an overwhelming science that
you learn over time.
We were the center of the world. 100%. You know, we get a lot of things wrong in the scientific community. You and I both know that. I'm not suggesting that we're not affecting the change. I honestly don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist. I just think it would be a nice intellectual curiosity expedition to go and find out who they are. I mean,
it was like my uncle in the Bonanno family. He wasn't personally running these particular gaming establishments, but they wanted to find out who was doing it as an intellectual exercise before they got thrown off of a fucking building.
Will you start at the top of that again? Because I want people to hear this this actual turn of phrase, because I've never heard these words put together in that way. And I should tell you that as of yesterday, the U.S. Energy Department basically said, no, we're not going to give you the names of people who've worked on climate change.
I heard that the people who went to those conferences were overwhelmingly 5s and below. We need to get to the bottom of this.
Let's just listen to this turn of phrase. I thought this is fascinating to me.
So, why do you want the names of those who worked on global warming at the Department of Energy? Is this a purge?
No, I don't think so at all. I think this is an intellectual curiosity expedition. We're really trying to come up with the best solutions to the American people. And
An intellectual curiosity expedition. Can we
Also,
pull that? We need to
I'll
build a bank.
I'll definitely pull that.
of-
Also, he said, I'm just going to point out here, 1 second.
It's a curiosity expedition. By the way, you know what, Chris? You sound a little bit like a fajul, like your father.
Expedition. We're really trying to come up with the best solutions to the American people. And
Solutions to the American people.
Well, I mean, I think he meant for. But nevertheless,
I take them literally.
nevertheless, like what? Like, I mean, let me just for a moment just say, like, it's more of an expedition about being just intellectually curious. Are they arguing like we want to sit down with these people and get their opinions so that we can bring this to the American public?
As an example, Chris, what if we created a whole bunch? You remember that fucking movie RoboCop? And he said the RoboCops are just designed specifically to kill frickin' Native Americans blocking the construction of, I don't know, a pipeline in North Dakota. It's an intellectual exercise, you friggin' pussy.
Now look,
Trying to create solutions to the American people.
hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Some over. Subscribe.